Well, good morning and welcome. My name is Henry Collins, and I'm a member of the board here at the Unitarian Universalist Church in Reston. We are so glad you're with us this morning, and we're so glad there's no snow on the ground this morning, but wait till this afternoon, I guess. We welcome you regardless of whether you're on Zoom or here with us in the sanctuary. It doesn't matter how old or how young you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, however you identify, and whomever you love, just know that you are welcome here. This community of all ages is a unique and valuable gift. Know that your sounds and movements are welcome here too. Maybe not all of them. It's okay, Maggie. All are indeed welcome to this place, whether you're attending this service or in person, well, on Zoom or in person. Speaking of those on Zoom, let's say hello to them. We'll take a moment to wave. Right about now would be good. Okay, good job, thank you. Before we get to the service, I will have several important things to tell you about. First, we invite religious education team members and families with children and teens, often also children, to gather after today's service here in the sanctuary. This will be an opportunity to celebrate our volunteers, get to know each other better, and share dreams and ideas for programs for our children, teens, and families. Heavy snacks and children's activities will be available. Thanks. Heavy snacks, yes. So that's right here in the sanctuary after the service. Then this Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. is the March game night and potluck. Invite friends and neighbors and come yourself, please. The Easter canned food hunt is coming up, but we need your canned food. Please bring your canned items and put them in the labeled bins in the foyers, either foyer, by Sunday, March 29th. The cans will be donated to a local food pantry. As we mentioned before, the board is reviewing our handicap parking resources. We do have 6 spaces, but we want to make sure they meet everyone's needs. If you have a handicap placard but have not been able to find a place on Sunday, please let me know. Your feedback helps us keep our church welcoming and accessible for all. All are welcome when the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Sterling will hold their 13th annual Speak Your Truth Poetry Slam. This will be on this Saturday, March 21st at 7 p.m. Award-winning poet Reggie Cabico will host with live music and prizes for participating poets. Reggie has appeared on 2 seasons of HBO's Deaf Poetry Slam and has won several National Poetry Slam awards. He has also been called the Lady Gaga of the spoken word. Proceeds from the event will benefit Equality Loudon. All are welcome. Sign up at the link in your e-blast. Are you new or newish to the congregation, perhaps? Would you like to learn more and are wondering how you could do that? We're holding a 2-part new UU orientation on March 22nd and March 29, 2 Sundays. That's next Sunday, as a matter of fact, and the following Sunday. This will be immediately after the service. You will have a chance to share your own spiritual journey, learn more about the history of Unitarian Universalism, and learn how you can become more connected to this congregation. Please see Reverend Aileen or email her if you are interested. At this time, I would like to invite Maggie and or Nani to come up and give us some important updates about the stewardship drive.
Thank you, Henry.
Sure.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So we are at 61 pledges so far, and also at 61%, which means we're at $218,120. So yeah, right? It seems really great. We're already 61%. We haven't been doing this too long. But to remind you, you have until April 12th. But hey, the sooner the better, so you stop seeing my lovely face. But if you have any questions, or if you don't even know what a pledge is, Maggie and I will be over here after service.
Great. Thank you, Nani, for your and Maggie's amazing help. And don't forget, you can pledge more than once if you want. It's okay. No problem there. In fact, I don't know if Kelsey has this in mind, but please come up and tell us about your stewardship thoughts this morning.
Good morning. My name is Kelsey Rideout, and I'm a member here of this church. Nani asked me to come up and share a few words of testimonial about how I came here in my journey. My journey started a couple of years ago when I was in college, about the age of 20. I took a college course on Asian religions, and I heard the story of the Buddha and the teachings of the Buddha, and I was enlightened. And with the fervor of the converted, I joined a Chinese Buddhist temple in San Diego and started going to Buddhism regularly. And became a member of that church and became ordained as a lay practitioner. It was a big group founded out of Taiwan, and they took us all up to Los Angeles to be ordained. They flew the Right Reverend from Taiwan, Reverend Xing Yun, to Taiwan to give us the service, and we all stood there in our black robes and our sashes. He sprinkled holy water on us, and he sat down to give us the Dharma talk, to send us on our way. And in his Dharma talk, he said that it's a very mobile world today. People travel, they move around, and the most important practice that we would have in our religion was to find a congregation of people that were of good thought. It was meaningless to study the teachings of the Buddha, the Dharma, on your own. It was important, most important of all, to find a church of any kind, of good-minded people. And I did travel. I traveled the world, lived in 2 different continents and Hawaii, and I found, in some cases, Buddhist churches, and others I did not. And then we came back to Virginia, and I started attending Steve Zapantis' meditation course here at the church on Tuesdays. And I had never really dealt with Unitarian Universalism, but it was very interesting. What is this location that is having a very traditional, almost Buddhist meditation practice? So I decided to come in on Sunday and see what the church was about. And I saw my friend Sterling Pilette that first Sunday morning, and I was again enlightened. This is the community. This is the group of like-minded people. I have that feeling the moment I walk in that this is the people that teach my children. This is the group that helps each other out, that lives the spirit that is behind it all. So I wanted to say thank you again for being here, for being that community, that part of my journey. Namaste.
And thank you, Kelsey, for contributing to that community yourself. We appreciate that. Now let us center ourselves for worship. Please take a moment to silence or even turn off your electronic devices. Please take some deep, quieting breaths with me. And let us enter our time of worship together as we enjoy this morning's prelude.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Reverend Aileen Fitzke, and it is my honor to serve this congregation as its minister. Our opening words this morning are by Elena Westbrook. In a world ravaged by violence, by hatred, by conflicts that seem eternal and insoluble, sometimes the only thing we can do is be still for a moment, to remind ourselves what is real. The sun that rose this morning, the dirt under our feet, the air whispering in and out of our lungs. This hour, try just to be present in each moment as it unfolds. Your simple attention is what makes these moments holy.
Our opening hymn is number 63, Spring Has Now Unwrapped the Flowers. Please rise and body your spirit and join us.
Good morning. Not that it hasn't been said already. Our chalice lighting this morning is called To Practice the Revolutionary Act of Noticing by Reverend Michelle Collins. Come, awaken your senses to this very moment where we practice the revolutionary act of noticing. Noticing the breath that sustains us, the beauty hiding in ordinary hours, the small things that keep us alive. Come, let us train our attention on that which leads us home.
Here at UUCR, we have a tradition where we sing our covenant together every Sunday morning. Love is the spirit of this church. We remain seated to sing our covenant together. And if you are here today for the first time, we invite you to accept this song as our blessing to you.
Love Good morning. Now is the time for all ages, so if you're feeling young of body or young of spirit, I invite you to come forward and welcome. We have the chalice box today, so I'm wondering who would like, Dylan, would you like to come open, would you like to? And see what's inside? Let's see what's there, I wonder. A magnifying glass. Wonder, what do we do with magnifying glasses? Yes. Use it for clues, yeah? Is it to look more closely at things? And today we're talking about paying attention. I am going to invite you to do a practice or maybe a game with me. We're going to start by taking 2 deep breaths together, and then we're going to notice. So let's take those deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, and out through your mouth. And then just notice with all your senses what you see, hear, maybe smell, taste, or feel. Let's take about a minute for that. I wonder what you noticed. If you're online, you can write in chat. If you're here, just raise your hand if you'd like to share, and Maggie will take a microphone around to you. So what did you notice? As you look around, do you see anything that you different? Do you see? Yes, Nymeria.
Does hearing count? I heard a ding.
You heard a chime, yes. Anyone else? There's so many things here. I wonder, do I see a hand? Yes?
Peace. A sense of calm and peace that came over after the breaths, and then just a settling.
So you noticed within yourself.
I noticed Ivy going.
Yes. Anything else?
I noticed that it was gray outside, but it felt very calm and still in here.
I saw the movement of the ceiling fans and felt the movement of the air.
Ah, so something you felt. Did I see something here? Yeah.
I smelled a really nice perfume wafting up.
Someone's wearing perfume. Also, I wonder, there's a scented candle up here, and I wonder if anyone smells that. Maybe not. Yeah.
I also felt a sense of calm after the breaths and heard the AC system going.
Yeah, the AC system.
And then my mind started racing.
Kind of notice those thoughts running through your mind. Yeah,
that's a hard thing to stop sometimes.
Yes, that is. Do we have anything in chat? Or anything else, anyone else here? I wonder, has anyone noticed the cranes in this corner of the room? Or all the work around on the walls? There's words of all kinds. Yes.
We took the flowers off the window and we made this beautiful bouquet that's under the candle. I thought that was so pretty. Thank you for doing that.
And I wonder, does anyone up here see anything that you normally see downstairs? Ah, yeah, we need jet pig that reminds us of our values. Needs to go downstairs, yes.
I noticed the movement of my neighbor knitting a red hat for a protest, which is great.
Ah.
And I admire that.
Oh, some people are doing crochet or knitting. I wonder if anyone's noticed anything different in either of the foyers when you came in, the east or the west foyer. Yes.
Magnet board?
A
magnet.
A magnet board. There's a poetry magnet board in the west foyer. Yes?
I noticed all the pretty flowers that used to be on the window now are out in the foyer.
Ah, okay. Flowers are on the bulletin board, and Duna.
One thing I noticed coming in were the new buds on the trees and plants coming out, and that made me really happy because spring's almost here.
Yeah, seeing buds and all the different signs of spring. And we have one other.
I noticed the Ukraine table in the lobby here, which made me both happy to see it because they had many beautiful things, but also makes me sad.
Yes, we have a table selling Ukrainian handicrafts out here. Anything else that you noticed in that foyer behind me? Anyone seen the fairy garden on the table by the window? There are so many things here. I invite you to continue noticing throughout today and throughout the week. And the children and any teens who would like to join them are going to be invited to notice some pieces of nature as they go. Yes. So we will sing you out to religious education now with Go With Joy. And the words are in your order of service and should be projected up here.
Now is the time in our service for the sharing of joys and concerns so that no one ever has to hold them alone. If you are joining us remotely this morning, you may wish to light a real or virtual candle wherever you are to mark what is in your heart. As members of the in-person congregation place stones in the water here in the sanctuary. If those of you at home would like to share what is on your heart today, you can put them in the congregational chat on the screen. Please write to all attendees, and please remember that what you share will be public. Those at home may then read others' joys and concerns shared in the chat and enter into your own time of meditation and prayer. As we in the sanctuary come forward and place our stones in the water, as Meagan plays our meditation music, I invite you to come forward. Let us be one in prayer and meditation. Spirit of life and love that so faithfully animates our creation, we are grateful for this community that is with us in times of both joy and sorrow. We hold in our hearts this morning all who are facing difficulty, those who are grieving or facing illness or injury to themselves, their friends, or their loved ones. In particular, this morning we hold in our hearts and prayers all those directly affected by the war in Iran. For them, we light this candle. Let us take a moment of silence.
As a self-funded church, UUCR relies on the generosity of our members and friends to fund daily operations and to ensure that the church and its resources are here for us and others now and into the future. Pledges support our many programs and activities: worship, music, religious education, activities for members and friends, community outreach, and connections to Unitarian Universalism. We invite you now to support the work of UUCR by making your donation to the collection plate if you are here in the sanctuary, or at the link on the slide and in the chat box. Thank you for your generosity and support of our beloved spiritual home.
During the offertory today, we're going to sing together hymn number 1009, Meditation on Breathing. We'll stay seated to sing this meditation, and we're going to sing the three parts, one after the other. So we'll do part 1 twice, part 2 twice, part 3 twice, and then you can choose if you would like to sing with me or sing one of the three parts. Okay, here we go. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. You can choose a part. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out. Let's do part 3 together one more time. Breathe in,
Thank you, Cynthia. It is easy to stop paying attention when your days are much the same. I have a very scheduled life most of the time. I have a morning routine, walk the dog, journal, meditate. It helps me get ready to face the rest of my day and give structure to my life. I know what regular meetings I have scheduled from week to week, and most of the other non-regular meetings are scheduled far in advance, so I have notice. But the regularity can also lead to complacency. I can't stop paying attention to the world around me because it becomes rote. I take the same route walking the dog. The structure of the meetings I attend follow a usual pattern. But, as many of you know, I just got back from Tokyo, where I was visiting my son who's studying abroad there. Landing in a different place, experiencing a new culture, it was a whole exercise in paying attention. I didn't know the city at all. The language was different. We took the subway almost everywhere we went, and you really had to pay attention to where you were going and watch carefully the English translations on the subway screens so we didn't get off at the wrong stops. I had to watch carefully as we walked through the neighborhood where we were staying so I could learn the route from the house to the subway or the bus stop. Even by the end of our trip, I was still in danger of being lost even close to our house, as the structure of the streets was not a grid, but a series of little twisty-turny alleys and walkways. I was never quite sure I was making the right turns. We had to learn that you never walk against the light in a pedestrian crosswalk, even if there are no cars coming. And whatever you do, do not push the handicap button to cross. You get dirty looks, and your son who is standing next to you gets mortified. Everything is so new that we had no choice but to pay attention, so we wouldn't get lost, so we wouldn't do something socially unacceptable or stop traffic for an inordinately long period of time, which I did. What's this button do? When I was living in Cambridge several years ago, I took the subway everywhere. In the mornings, I would get off at one particularly busy station, and then I would stand aside for a little while watching people running for or running from the train to get to their jobs or their classes or wherever they were going. Huge swaths of people being herded by some unseen force, often running, backpacks flying to squeeze into a train already overstuffed with other people. And this, even though there was another train coming in less than 5 minutes. We get into ruts where we often stop paying attention to what we are doing. Those people running for the train, and maybe they really were in a rush, or maybe that's just the way they have been trained, to be rushing all the time, whether it's necessary or not. It just becomes their way of being, our way of being. I would look at and think, this is what we have become. I spent a lot of time in the subway in Tokyo, and this is what I saw. People only looked up if it was their stop or if they were anticipating their stop. Otherwise, Buddhist teacher and writer Tracy Cochrane writes of the Tibetan Buddhist master called the Lotus-born of the 8th century. He predicted in the future a time of great discord and destruction would come when people would lose their ability to discern what is precious and what is mere distraction, sweeping them away from what is good and essential. My guess is that he was talking about his own time, but we can also imagine that he was talking about ours. We are bombarded with so much information via email, social media, news feeds. We can doom scroll constantly that we lose what is precious and real right in front of us. Great religious figures have these points where they're challenged by distraction. Jesus and Buddha both spent time alone, 40 days for both. And both were tempted by the riches of the world to be supreme ruler of all that is, and they turned it down. They realized that it's all just a distraction from their true mission in the world, that wealth and supreme power are not what being alive is really about. The emphasis on our society being ambitious and always productive pulls us away from the mundane, the everyday, the beauty all around us. Like the people I talked about earlier rushing for the subway, perhaps missing the sublime and beautiful that might just be at the periphery of their vision. I was out shopping recently, and when I left the store, it was dusk, and the sun was setting, and the sky was magnificent. The cloud patterns were reflecting the sun, and the effect was spectacular. I just stood and watched until it all dispersed as the darkness took over. Look around you. What are you missing by not looking up and around? I tried an experiment before I left the country. I put all these things around the building. There's a fairy garden in the east foyer with fairy cards next to it. Did anyone see it or pick a card? Oh, good. I put magnetic poetry with a magnet board in the west foyer. I know people have seen it because there's poetry all over it. That made me smile. I put a tree with 40 paper cranes hanging from it in the sanctuary. Have you seen it? Good. I put little clay hearts in the west foyer with a single word on each and a sign that says, "Do small things with great love." It's a Mother Teresa quote. Have you seen it? Good. I also had Linda hang up sayings all over the sanctuary mixed in with our principles and values. Things from Julia Cameron, success or failure. The truth of a life has little to do with its quality. The quality of life is in proportion always for our capacity for delight. The capacity for delight is the gift of paying attention. And Mary Oliver, she's over there. Pay attention, be astonished, tell about it. Did you see or read any of them? They're lining the walls with the principles and values. And I'm sorry for the people who only come online. I didn't know how to sneak things into your homes, and that would have been weird. But stop and look around. It is a very good time to do so. It is spring and the earth is changing. There are starting to be flowers everywhere. Crocuses and daffodils and hellebore are blooming all over my yard. The Buddhist writer Tracy Cochran writes in her book, Presence, "Our whole being seeks to wake up. The plants and animals and other people in the world are not just obstacles or decorations. They are meant to touch our hearts and our senses and our deepest feelings, nurturing and guiding us toward what is valuable and real." I wonder what the gorillas are in our lives. What do we miss when we are looking elsewhere? When we are so focused on something trivial that we miss the wonder, the beauty, the unusual, the unexpected in our midst. There is so much that holds our attention these days. It is as though there is some new disaster meant to distract from the previous disaster that was meant to distract from the previous disaster to that. And amongst all that fury of anxiety, of worry, of fear, of discontent, take a moment to notice the beauty, the unusual, the unexpected. Tracy Cochran writes, "We remember that when everything is going awry, there is always a force of love. This is not a romantic attraction or attachment, but an energy, a way of seeing that reminds us always that we are not separate from life. We are not strangers here, no matter how dark it seems, and we are meant to connect. It is connecting and noticing that makes sense of all that might scare us, make us uneasy or anxious. Look around, connect, hold on to the beauty, the wonder that is all around us. Take moments of silence and contemplation. Reach out and connect to another. Be that island of calm in the storm that surrounds us. We are the beauty. We are the unexpected. We are the unusual that sits among the expected. When we pay attention to each other, the world, we are home. Amen, and blessed be."
Our closing hymn is number 21, "For the Beauty of the Earth." Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing.
Our benediction this morning is by Laura Stevens. We may pay attention, but it returns on its investment. What we attend grows. What we focus on clarifies. Who we hold in our hearts is comforted. Our minds are the minds of the universe. Our attention connects us to each other and to all that is.
We have now come to the end of our service, and it's time to extinguish our chalice. This is a sacred time that we have just enjoyed. It's sacred because you made a commitment to be here, to honor this beloved community, to hear the words of justice, equity, morality, sharing love, and yes, noticing. You put everything aside, you laid everything down to come here, to share this space with others that made the same commitment. And as you go from here and leave this space spiritually full, you surely will be a beacon to be a light unto the world.
For our postlude today, we're going to sing together another hymn. It's hymn number 398, To See the World in a Grain of Sand. It's a beautiful gem of a hymn. It's quite short, text by William Blake and music by Edvard Grieg. It's very beautiful. I think we should just remain seated to sing this together. Meagan's going to play it through once first, and then we'll sing it twice. And before we do that, I wanted to thank Meagan for playing the piano for us this morning.
Thank you all for coming this morning, both online and in person, and have a wonderful day.